What's up guys, Full FIFA here back in with another video, and today we are back with the Marquee matchup predictions for week 21. This SPC will be coming out on February 18th, which is this Thursday. So first off, I'd like to just thank you guys for all the support on my last couple of videos. It's been really insane with all the likes and all the comments, and along with that, all the comments and stuff. I've been getting a lot of comments on when to sell my cards. That was like the most asked question I've had. And also that I can't get these cards on bid, so I'll talk about that in the last part of this video. If you guys want to wait around for that, I'll answer those questions for you guys. Also with that, I did make a UCL Marquee matchup video just yesterday, so before checking out this video, if you guys haven't already, go ahead and check out that video because those SBCs are coming out tomorrow and you guys still do have a chance to invest from when this video is uploaded. So I would suggest going and investing in those cards first before you guys do invest in these. And let's start off with the normal Marquee matchup. So I'll toss the teams up on the screen right now for you guys. First four teams we do got is Arsenal versus Man City. So Arsenal versus Man City was the team that I did put most of my coins into. I put around 35k into these cards. Again, these matchups for this week were pretty hard again. So these cards aren't even like, I would say I'm like 80% sure that these teams will get into the SBCs. I'm not 100% on this, just because it was so hard this week to pick these teams out. And then we got Atlanta versus Napoli, and then we got Bayern Munich versus Frankfurt, and then we got PSV versus Vitesse. And then for the wild cards, we do have Feyenoord versus FC Twente. Keep in mind, Feyenoord and the Feyenoord and FC Twente is only interchangeable with the PSV matchup, because they don't do two teams from the same they don't do two matchups from the same league ever. I've never seen that happen as far as I know. So that's the trend that usually goes on. So those two are only interchangeable with each other. And the last wild card we do got is PSG versus AS Monaco. Keep in mind, PSG versus AS Monaco will only get into it if PSG doesn't get into the UCL Marquee matchups for this coming Tuesday. So if which is tomorrow. So if the UCL Marquee matchup does not have PSG versus Barcelona in it, PSG versus AS Monaco will for sure be in these Marquee matchups. So that's the only reason I put that as a wild card, because there is a chance that there's a very slim chance it could get into these Marquee matchups if it doesn't get into the UCL ones. So as always, buy these cards for around 650 to 700 coins for the rares and try and get these cards up on bid. That's what I do most of the time. Try mass bidding, which is the method that I use a lot. Just bid on as many cards as you possibly can. You'll end up getting a couple, and it does take a while, but you'll end up getting these cards for really cheap. So, and then 400, I would say around 350 to 400 coins for the gold non-rares, because they are kind of high in price just due to that 81 plus rated SBC. Also, you guys can wait for some kind of pack supply to come out on the market, some kind of rewards. Usually Thursday rewards are really good to pick these cards up. That's when I pick most of my cards up. So Thursday rewards is a really good time. Also, along with that, if they do release like some league SBC or like some SBC that gives out a bunch of packs in the first hour of that SBC being released, after that 1 hour is over, there'll usually be a bunch of players on the market just because everybody completed that SBC and people like to get it done early. So there is always an influx of cards on the market, and that also makes it really easy to get these cards on bid for really cheap. So let's get into each team. So the first two teams we got is Arsenal versus Man City. So if we do take a look at the rares for Arsenal, they do have a lot of rare cards that you guys can actually pick up. Obviously it is later at night right now for me, so there's not that much supply on the market for these cards. So if you guys are looking for two options to go with, my main two options for the rares were Danny Ceballos. So he is Spanish center mid. Also along with that, I did go with what was his name, David Luiz as well, because he's a center back and he was a little bit more expensive, a tiny bit. I was able to get a couple on bid for around 750 coins, which is pretty cheap because he does sell for around, I believe, 1200 coins right now. So I was able to pick him up for really cheap on that note. Also along with that, let's take a look at the non-rares really quickly. So with the non-rare cards, they are kind of inflated in price. It was really hard. If you guys can get any of these cards pretty much below around like 400 coins, it is a really good buy on these, especially these Premier League cards. They tend to just insta sell for around 400 coins. So if you guys are able to bid on these cards and get them for 400 coins, it is a really good option. There's not like a main one I would pick, because any of the all these non-rares are really good to actually pick up. And then if we hop on over to Man City, Man City's player prices are kind of inflated just due to the league SBC being decent. If you guys are able to get this goalkeeper for around 400 coins, again, that is a very good option to go with. That's what I went with for some of my cards as well. And if we do look at the rares, there are a couple of rares that you guys might be able to pick up. It's super hard to pick up these guys, honestly. So if you can, that's why I just stuck with the non-rares. If you guys are able to get these cards actually at like even below a K, they are a very good option. Just due to that, just due to the high likelihood of actually Arsenal and Man City actually being in this SVC. And then if we do move on to the other teams, we do got Atalanta versus Napoli. Atalanta and Napoli, they do got a bunch of rare cards that you guys are able to pick up for super cheap. Nobody's really looking at these cards, honestly. So I've been actually going with a lot of these Darun cards. Again, he does discard for only 2 coins less than his bid, his lowest bid, which is 650. So only buy him for 650 coins. I wouldn't pay more than 650 for this card. And then he does discard for 2 coins less, so you guys won't be losing a ton of coins if they don't come out with this SBC, or if they don't use Atalanta, or they don't have the right requirements needed to make these cards actually rise. Because sometimes they do tend to go with 2 teams that do require players from each team, and then 2 teams that don't require players from each team. So you never know which ones they'll add this one into, because it's not a huge matchup, but it's yeah, so better to be safe than sorry. So my main option from these guys was Darun, and I wouldn't say buy anybody else. And again, if you do take a look at the non-rares, they are kind of hard to get, but if you guys are able to get any of these for 350 coins, again, they do pretty much insta sell for 400 coins. So 400 coins is probably my cutoff for these cards, especially because the low likelihood of them actually being required in the SBC. And then if we do move on over to Napoli, again, same thing with the Napoli. Their cards are kind of high in price. So if you guys are able to get them for around 400 coins, any of these cards for around 400 coins, I would try to go with the highest rated as possible, as always. I picked up a couple of this German card just because he was, I don't know why, he was super easy for me to pick up at like 350 coins. So that is a very good option right now. And then if we do go ahead and look at the rares, again, with the rares, I would just stick with the highest rated rare that you guys can possibly get. Even Bakayoko is a decent option, but I've been going with this Polish center mid just because he does discard for, I think, like 13 or 15 coins below the 650 coin mark. So only pick these cards up for 650 coins. I wouldn't overpay even by like 100 coins. I would not overpay on these cards. And then we do have Bayern Munich versus Frankfurt. So again, this isn't like a huge matchup again, and this one has a very it's like in the middle. It probably has like a 75% chance of actually getting into these SBCs. So if you guys do want to look at some rare cards, pretty much your only option is going to be this goalkeeper, just because due to the fact these players are so high in price right now. So if you guys can pick up this goalkeeper for around 800 coins, he is a great option. Also, along with that, if you guys can pick up this Tolisso for under a K, that is another good option. I don't suggest picking up too many of these. I didn't pick up a lot of those cards. I probably picked up like 5, 6, or 7 from each team. So I would stay away from picking up too many of these cards. But again, you never know what EA is going to require, so they could just require anybody, and these guys could just shoot up in price to like 5K. So if you guys want to go with the non-rare, so buy these cards for around 500 coins. These guys do pretty much insta-sell at like 900 coins. So go ahead and pick these cards up if you are able to for around 500 coins for the non-rares. And then if we go and look at Frankfurt, they do have a couple of non-rares you guys can also pick up. Again, I personally just stuck with this left wing just because I was able to get him for 300 coins. As you can see, he's going on bid for 600 coins right now, which is just insane. So if you guys can pick up any of these cards for around 400 coins from Frankfurt, that is a great option because they do pretty much instant sell for 400 coins. And then if we do take a look at these gold rares from Frankfurt, they do have a couple that you guys can pick up, in which are a decent price. So if Hinteregger, he is 650 coins around there. So if you guys can pick him up for around 700-800 coins, he is a great option as well. Don't pick up too many. I would probably say pick up like 4 or 5. And then same thing with Jovic. Him I would only pay 650 coins for if you guys are able to pick him up on bid. So if we do move on over to PSV versus Vitesse, they do have PSV does have some gold cards that you are able to pick up actually, so that are some decent prices. So I would stick with this striker pretty much. That was the only card that I did buy from these guys, was like 3 or 4 of this striker, just because he's 650 coins and he does discard for 648. So he's a very good option. That's the only card that I would go with personally from these guys, because they very unlikely that these guys will actually require a player from like PSV or something. Usually they do some kind of nation requirements on these cards. As you guys can see, but Tizzy doesn't even have any gold cards. So I honestly, maybe if you guys want to go through and pick up like one of these rare cards for 250 coins, such as this card right here, or like any rare silver card for 250 coins, only I would say pick up like 1 or 2 from these guys, just in case they are acquired. So if we do take a look into the wild cards, we do have PSG versus AS Monaco. Again, very slim chance these guys will actually get into it, but we'll take a look at these cards anyways. Don't pick up too if you guys do want to pick up PSG cards, that's fine. Just go ahead and pick up a bunch of PSG cards, because they have like pretty much doubled the chance of getting into a marquee matchup no matter what, even if it's UCL or the normal marquee matchups. So if you do look at AS Monaco, they do have Voland. That was the card that I went with as well. So Voland is a pretty good option. Again, 2 coins less than his discard, so Voland is the only option I did go with from these guys. I didn't pick up any of their non-rares. I would stay away from them anyways, just because due to their pretty high price. If you guys are able to get them for 300 coins, or like 350, that's a bargain on these cards. So you guys can try getting them. They're pretty hard to get for that price as well. So, and then if we do move on over to PSG, I think they are kind of high in price right now, not gonna lie to you guys. They have risen quite a bit, just due to all the other YouTubers and all the other people telling people to buy their cards like last minute, as they love to do. So if you guys are able to pick these cards up for around like under 450 to 500 coins for the non-rares, I would stick with them. They are a pretty good option. Again, they do have double the chance of getting into it, getting into an SBC. And then if we do look at the rares, we do have a bunch of rare cards that you guys can actually pick up from these guys. So any of these cards for around 650 to 800 coins, I believe they're only I believe on the market they're selling for around about a K right now. So if you guys are able to get these for around 800 coins for the for the rares, that is a very good option. As you guys can see, they are currently selling for 1,300 coins. So if you guys can get them for 800-900 coins, that is a very good option for these guys, because these guys do have again double the chance of getting into those matchups. And then for the lastly, Feyenoord versus FC Twente, you guys can pick up like 1 or 2 cards from these teams. Don't suggest going too much into these cards again. They don't have many cards. Along with that, maybe buy one of these cards for 250 coins for the rares, for the silver rares. That's what I did, just in case. They do go up in price, but very slim chance they'll actually be required. Try and stay with these Netherlands players, actually. Players from the Netherlands who are such as Fur. He is a decent option, just because they do tend to even rise, because they do tend to have a requirement of like you need like 1 player or like 2 players from Netherlands. Also, along with that, they usually have like a max nationality of like 5, and people do just tend to use these Netherlands cards a lot. So and then if we do take a look at just like the normal Netherlands cards from the Eredivisie, the non-rares, if you guys are able to pick these up for around 350 coins, that is a bargain. You guys also, if they don't get into them, you can just throw them into the SBC for the 81 plus if it's still out by then. So if you guys want to go the safest route, bid on these 75 rated non-rares for 300 coins and try and pick those up. or you guys can go ahead and try and pick these 81 rated right wing up. Actually, these guys do have an 81 rated right wing from, I believe he's from Feyenoord. Might be wrong on that. Yeah, he is from Feyenoord. So if you guys are able to pick this right wing up, this is a pretty good option. Again, he is only 2 coins below his value, and again, he is from the Netherlands, so I've picked up a couple of him as well, just in case they do require some sort of Netherlands cards in the SBC. So to answer you guys' question at the end of this video, like I said, the main question I did have is when to sell my cards for these investments that we did make. So there are pretty much 2 times that you guys can sell your cards, which is just before the matchup start, or the SBC drops, which is before 6 p.m. UK time, or it is when the SBC drops, so after 6 p.m. UK time. To know when to sell your cards, say, like, I'll give an example. So tomorrow is going to be UCL Marquee matchups, and one of the teams that I did predict was Barcelona. So I was picking up these Barcelona desk cards at around 600 to 650 coins during squad battle rewards all day long. They were super easy to get. I invested in around 200,000 coins into these cards, right? Just because they were so cheap, and there's like virtually zero risk on these cards because I was picking them up for 600 coins. So as you guys can see, they're going for 1,300 coins already today. And I like to gauge the market before 6 p.m. UK time. So if you do take a look at these cards before 6 p.m. UK time, and you do see a huge rise in these cards, say they go up to like 2,500 coins, I would sell half of my cards right then and there, just in case EA doesn't use this team, because again, this is a prediction and it's not 100% that they're gonna choose Barcelona versus PSG in the in those matchups, so they can choose whatever team they want. But again, PSG versus Barcelona has the highest chance of getting into it, just because it's a huge matchup, and compared to the other 2 that are going to be going on in the same week. So I would sell off half of those cards, keep half of them for after 6 p.m. because after selling off half of your cards, you'll probably be in profit already. And if you end up, say you bought 200 cards and you sell off, say you bought 200 cards, right, for like a K or something, and then you sell off 100 of them for 2K, you're already in profit. And the other 100 cards, if you even discard them, you're still going to be in profit. So that is a reason that I do tend to sell half of my cards off before, unless they don't rise to the price that I want. If they stay around like 1,300, 1,400, 1,500 coins, I probably won't even sell them. I'll probably just wait till, I'll take my risk on my coins, and I'll wait till 6 p.m. UK, just so I can maximize my profit on those cards. And also, it is a risk that you're taking, but just due to the amount of coins and amount of the items I have in the club, that I can make back those coins super easily, so it doesn't really affect me. Again, if you guys are investing like with just like, if you guys only have like 50k or 100k to invest in, and you guys don't have anything like any you don't have like any tradable players in your club or something, then I would probably take half of the coins immediately before the SBC does come out, and then take the risk of, again, half of those cards after, just so you guys are in profit already and you guys aren't going to be losing a ton of coins on those cards. So that's that was on when to sell. Also, the other question I had, I can't get these cards on bid. That is another great question I get a lot, is how do you get these cards on bid? I can't get them. They're at like 1,500 coins, 1k. So always wait till a pack supply comes out. Say so my videos usually come out on Monday for the or Monday or Sunday for this marquee matchups. So if you guys do see a video, let's say a video came out of mine, and then you guys are trying to go and getting those cards, because people usually start viewing them just from what the trend shows on the graph for the views on my videos. People tend to start viewing them around Wednesday and Thursday is when I do get the most views on those videos, just because that's like last second. People are just trying to see what to invest in, so those prices are already gone up, just because it's last second. Everybody's trying to invest, everybody's trying to make some coins. So then your best option is probably Thursday rewards. The Foot Champs rewards and the Division Rivals rewards, they supply the market with a lot of players, and say an hour after rewards comes out, that's when you want to start bidding on these cars. 1 hour after the rewards do come out, because that's when they'll be the cheapest. That's when there'll be a huge supply on the market of those cars. Super easy to get them on bid. If you guys say you guys have like some time restriction, like for me, squad battle, those rewards do come out at night, not at they do come out in the middle of the night for where I live, so I really can't stay up all night trying to bid on these cards, right? So that's why I do tend to start bidding throughout the week. Just mass bid 6 p.m. UK, 7. I start bidding at like 7 p.m. UK because they do tend to release an SBC, especially with promos going on. Throughout the week at 6 p.m. UK, they do release an SBC, say just for like even a 25k pack. And then an hour after people do complete that SBC, they'll list all these cards for around like they'll even list them for like 350 coins starting and 10k by now. So then we just go through and I just bid on those cards at mass bid. So if you guys don't know what mass bidding is, it's pretty much where you just find a card and you just bid on as many of those cards as you can. So for example, that's what I did with Dest. Again, I'll give that example. So pretty much I just went to Dest and I went to 600 coins and I'm just gonna mass bid on these cards. Just bid on as many as I can for 600 coins. So you're bound to get at least like 4 or 5 of them out of those 50 that you do bid on. And that is the way that I tend to get my cards. You just gotta wait for pack supply. Pretty much that's pretty much it, or you guys gotta wait till rewards times. So those are the times that's the easiest way to get these cards on bid. Or you guys can also just try and bid throughout the night when the UK is sleeping, which is usually around like 5 p.m. Pacific time. So that is another good time that you guys can try and get these cards on bid. Again, when there's pack supply, it makes it way easier. So that's pretty much it. If you guys want me to go in depth with any of these questions, please let me know in the comments below. I can make like a separate video on just like what mass bidding is and when to sell your cards and stuff. So thank you guys for watching. Remember to leave a like and subscribe. Peace.